Hi guys, surprise! I have one final bonus episode for you on the Liberal Conservative, and then we are done with season 1 until October. But the last episode, the actual episode of the week that I recorded, I think was positive, and it was an informative episode on how to build sovereignty outside of the system, outside of U.S. currency, outside of surveillance. And the way that I recorded these episodes were basically a lot of them all at once within a span of 3 to 4 weeks. Since then, I've had some time to reflect and actually move on to other projects and pay more close attention to the business side of all of my businesses. And I found that doing that actually gave me a complete different perspective on our politics and the state of our country, which I thought was very important to share. Of course, I don't just come on my podcast and give you a perspective without any actual information or research. I always research because I want to make sure that I am giving you not just opinion, but clarity and fact. So I thought a lot of the Gilded Age and all of its similarities to our current state of the country. And I guess we can call this the age of AI. And, you know, at the beginning of this presidency, and actually at the beginning of 2016, I was really riddled with fear. And a lot of people that I know were going around talking about how, you know, America is going to be at the brink of collapse with Donald Trump, that he was going to waltz in and change everything to this authoritarian regime and demolish the middle class. And I was buying it for some time. And then I got information and realized that that's really not as easy as it seems. And in my opinion, now this part is opinion, I don't think he's going to get away with it. I don't think it's going to happen. And why? Well, because we've been here before. We're living through a second Gilded Age. Back then, in the late 1800s, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, the Vanderbilts, and the Morgans were the Musk, Bezos, Gates, and Thiels of today. They owned everything: railroads, steel, oil, just like today's billionaires own tech, finance, and media. The wealth gap was obscene. Corruption was baked into politics, and working people were treated like disposable parts in the machine. Does that sound familiar? But here's the part the doomers forget. The Gilded Age didn't last. It collapsed into a progressive era. Why? Because Americans don't sit quietly while oligarchs strip the country bare. We organize, we protest, we strike, and we legislate. Today, we already are seeing echoes of that backlash. Unions rising at Amazon and Starbucks, journalists refusing to be silent, progressive lawmakers refusing to rubber stamp billionaire wars, everyday Americans standing up, and yes, let's be blunt, Americans are armed. We're not sliding into some dictatorship without a fight. The Gilded Age gave us child labor laws, which now is becoming more popular in some red states, and I'm talking to you, Ron DeSantis, and Florida. Antitrust reform, muckraking journalism, the women's vote, income tax, and a middle class that became the envy of the world. And this new Gilded Age, it's giving us the same energy, a country on the edge of reform, not ruin. Trump, he's no Carnegie, he's no Rockefeller, he's a cheap con artist propped up by billionaires who don't even trust him. And billionaires fight each other. Their egos won't allow one man to rule unchecked. That's the flaw in every authoritarian fantasy. So when I look at America, I don't see a people sleepwalking into dictatorship. I see a people sharpening their knives for a new progressive era. We've done this before, and we will do it again. Because in America, corruption might glide or gild the surface, but underneath, the people always crack it wide open. The framing does a new thing for you. This framing, It puts today directly in conversation with the Gilded Age. It balances critique of oligarchy with optimism about people's power. It dismantles the myth of Trump as a strongman. He's not. It sets up a call to action for reform. Matriarchy, feminism, counteroffensives, all of these tie right in. So democracy is not slipping through our fingers. Trump is not going to, and has not, by the way, marched in and just with some authoritarian wand destroyed the middle class. Not for a second. Is he harming our structures and destabilizing them? Yes, he's a chaos agent, and that is the whole purpose of his existence. But again, we've been here before, and every time the people have risen up and changed history. I talk directly to my listeners all of the time. I draw a line immediately in giving the correlation between we're kind of like in the middle of a new Gilded Age, not really the fall of Rome, okay? So there were titans of industry back then, and there's titans of industry now. There's monopolies controlling oil, steel, and railroads. There was corruption in politics. There was lavish wealth versus slums and tenements. Mark Twain, he called the Gilded Age because beneath the gold leaf, the country was rotting. That's why he named it the Gilded Age. Parallel to now, Bezos, Musk, Gates, Zuckerberg, Thiel, same playbook. Big tech, new railroads, Wall Street, new steel, corruption normalized, money rights are laws. Now today, the top 1% are richer than the bottom 90% combined. Monopolies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, BlackRock, and Vanguard control everything and have their hand in almost everything that we consume. We have a gig economy, no benefits, wage stagnation, the culture of excess, mega yachts, Mars fantasies, Hamptons excess, while Americans drown in medical debt and homelessness. The technology disruption of back then was railroads, electricity, and telegraph, and now it's AI, biotech, and automation. In both eras, tech creates massive wealth concentration and anxiety about jobs, which is a very big one right now. That's all we're listening to. Every time you open a social media app, you cannot get away from Sam Altman or Peter Thiel or some tech guy from Silicon Valley telling us that we are no longer going to be of use in the very near future. So let me break down the myth of dictatorship and Trump in the United States. Donald Trump is not, like I said before, Rockefeller or Carnegie. He's a bankrupt reality TV con man. That's it. There's nothing else around that, okay? Even his donors don't trust him. Oligarchs will always fight each other. No one man can dominate egos. So Musk, Thiel, or Bezos are not going to allow for anyone. First of all, Musk can't even run for president, right? So and we've already seen numerous cracks within those circles. Americans have a tradition of resistance, labor strikes, suffrage, civil rights, Vietnam protest. And yes, bluntly, like I said before, we are armed. Authoritarian fantasies don't account for a population with 400 million guns. Courts plus states are pushing back. Remind your audience, whoever you're speaking to, at any given moment with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, that governors are blocking GOP gerrymandering by creating their own gerrymandering to combat the inequality. Authoritarianism requires unity at the top. And what we have is billionaires tearing each other apart. So I'm going to leave you with this. I don't believe that we're heading into a dictatorship. Not with this history, not with this culture, and not with this people. Because corruption may gild the surface, but Americans always crack it wide open. The Gilded Age gave way to the progressive era. And this one, it's going to give birth to something even bigger. A feminine counteroffensive. A matriarchal, people-driven revolution that billionaires can't buy or strong-arm, and they definitely will not be able to stop it. We've been here before, and we'll do it again. The question is, which side of history do you want to be on? Thank you so much for listening to Season 1 of The Liberal Conservative, and I will see you, and I'm looking forward to bringing you a brand new season in October.